How do you explain to kids where meat comes from? Hello everyone, this is Katya, the vegan powerlifter, and welcome to the channel. I started wondering how you explain that when my neighbors here got chickens. They have a 9-year-old, and she ran to me when I came back from my summer vacation and said, hey, we have like 7 chickens. I would like to introduce you. I came over, she showed me the chickens, they're adorable, and I was like, wow, that's awesome, you have pets. Or are these not pets? Are these like, are you growing them, to eat them later? She's 9, so I think she knows where meat comes from, and she was like, no, we're gonna love them. We're not gonna eat them. We'll just eat their eggs. And I was like, okay, cool. So one of her mom doesn't eat meat, the other one eats everything. And I think she eats meat as well. And I could just see it in her face, how she started thinking like, yeah, some people eat chickens. Maybe I eat chickens, but not these chickens. And I started wondering, how do you explain to kids that are younger, if you're not vegan, where meat comes from? Like, it must be traumatizing. And if it's not okay to explain to kids, then why do you continue this action, right? Like, it's hard to explain the things about genocides and the Holocausts and the war crimes, and we try not to do those as a society, right? It's hard to explain those horrible things to kids, and when we do explain, we make a point saying like, yeah, those things are wrong, we do not do that. But we do that to the animals en masse. We have I think it's called a cyclocide, so it's kind of like a genocide, but we do this cyclically. As a humanity, we kill them, we'll kill the animals, and then we raise another generation and we kill them, and it continues in cycles, and we just do this. And somehow every generation that grows explains it to their kids that, oh yeah, this is what we do, and then that generation's like, okay, and then they explain it to their kids and to their kids. I guess right now the amount of vegans and vegetarians has grown exponentially. You can Google the statistics. So people have started thinking more. I think we have arrived to such a standard of living, just kind of worldwide. The standard of living has been raising, so people can afford to think about more than themselves. We can think about our planet, we can think about other living things, we can think about how we can make everybody else's lives better. Anyways, I've asked ChatGPT how to explain why we eat meat and where meat comes from to kids. So let's see what it says. When explaining to kids where meat comes from, it's important to keep the conversation age appropriate, honest, and sensitive. Here's a simple approach. Number 1, start with the basics. Explain that meat comes from animals like cows, chickens, pigs, and fish. These animals are raised on farms, well, factory farms, and they are cared for by farmers who provide them with food, water, and shelter. You mean they are imprisoned for a lifetime, usually without being able to exit their crate, turn around, or see the light of day, while being force-fed, raped to have milk if you are a female cow, and then slaughtered? So yeah, I wouldn't say that really qualifies as cared for, but we're talking to kids and keeping it age appropriate, but honest and sensitive, but age appropriate. Anyways, number 2, connect to nature. You can mention how humans, like animals in nature, eat both plants and animals to stay healthy and strong. Really? Most of my vegan friends are healthy and strong. Only those who just choose weird dietary choices, just like any non-vegan human beings, are not healthy and strong, or only those who choose to not exercise are not healthy and strong. The people who want to be healthy and strong can be healthy and strong on any diet. And that is what the World Health Association has declared, is that you can be healthy lifelong, starting from birth, without animal products. Again, you can Google it, don't listen to me. Use examples from the natural world where animals eat other animals. For example, lions eat zebras. to make the concept relatable. We are not lions. Yes, we have the canines, but if you let humans out into the nature, they will not be able to kill a bunch of zebras or whatever is around us in the forest like lions. We are shitty hunters. We only can hunt in groups when we make the tools to do so. But yeah, I'm not sure we can be super relatable to, lions. And the food that we eat cannot be really relatable to zebras. If you put like a zebra and an apple in front of a child, or I don't know, a chicken and an apple, what is he going to play with and what is he going to eat? He's not going to play with the apple and kill the chicken and then eat raw chicken. He's going to eat the apple and make friends with the chicken. Anyways, talk about respect. Ooh, nice, respect. Emphasize the importance of respecting animals and being thankful for the food they provide. With the corpses? Farmers try to ensure that animals are treated well during their lives. That's such horse shit, and you know it. And I think if ChatGPT told me that this was going to be honest, that line wouldn't be there. Number 4, gauge emotional response. Be mindful on how the child reacts. Some children might have more questions or feel sad. Really? Surprising. I wonder why. It's important to acknowledge their feelings and reassure them that eating meat is a choice, and many people also choose to eat plant-based foods instead. Finally, a sensible thought. Many people choose to eat plant-based foods instead. Amazing. I wonder why. And if a child feels sad, I think you can reassure them that you can stay healthy and strong, lifelong on a plant-based diet, and they don't have to kill animals or buy the animals that somebody else killed for them. They can just eat other foods because there's so many other foods, and we are lucky to live in the age where most of those foods are cheap, affordable, accessible, easy to cook. Number 5, offer alternatives. You can also explain that there are other ways to get food that doesn't involve animals, such as eating vegetables, fruits, and other plant-based products. Well, it's funny. The motto of my team, Plant Built Vegan Strong, is that plants have all the protein you need. And it's funny because it doesn't sound cool when you say plants and mushrooms have all the protein you need, because like mushrooms are not plants. They're another kingdom of things. But yeah, I guess we just put them in there. But yeah, you can eat animals if you want. You can eat vegetables instead, and fruits and legumes and nuts and seeds and grains and a gazillion of other products. There's like 3 sad animals that we eat, right? Chickens, cows, pigs. Instead, you can eat hundreds of thousands of plants and get all the micronutrients and macronutrients that you need. I think we're missing the conversation about morality here. So I asked ChatGPT, what about morality? What about the moral values and compassion? So here's what it said. When incorporating moral values into the conversation about where meat comes from, you can focus on empathy, respect for life, and making informed choices. That is true. I do think that informed choices are valuable. And I feel like I really wish that every person who was buying meat, you know how in some countries on cigarettes, they stick like the rotten teeth or like the glaucoma or the heart disease and just information about like what that does to your body. I really wish they would stick images of the slaughterhouses on the meat. So when the person buys meat, they remember every time what it does to other animals. And by the way, red meat is number 2 cancerogen, also considered by the World Health Organization. So they could stick the photos of that too, just like on the cigarettes. Yes, different effect. Yes, haters are going to probably be like, yeah, meat is not cigarettes. No, I didn't say meat is cigarettes. I said it is considered a number 2 group cancerogen, and you can look that up. I didn't make that up. The individual scientists of the world have come up with that, not the vegans. The scientists who eat meat came up with that based on the meta-analysis. So can't argue with the facts. So yeah, I wish meat and dairy had that on there, and the amount of cholesterol. like they put the amount of carbs and sugars on everything is the amount of cholesterol that really leads to heart disease. And where is that? Somewhere in the back, really ignored. The amount of trans fats, like saturated fats, is like the worst thing that can happen to your arteries and the veins. But that's somewhere in the back in the nutritional information, and only if you know, you're going to look for that. Anyways, here's how you could expand the conversation. Number 1, introduce the idea of compassion. Explain that while some people eat meat, it's important to always show compassion for the animals. No shit. Talk about how animals are living beings, and many people believe that we should treat them kindly, even if they are raised for food. I really hate the terminology like raised for food, or I mean, they didn't say procure animals, but animals provide us with the meat. Like they die to be eaten. They're not raised. They are used for food. Correct the language a little bit so it's a little more clear what happens to the animals that literally, that is like what we make them do without their consent. We make them be born. We use resources to feed them and to give them water and growth hormones and whatever else, steroids, and then we kill them. And I don't think any of that would happen without the humans who want to eat animals. You can say something like, can somebody stop messaging me? Sorry. You can say something like, people choose to eat meat and others don't because they don't want animals to be hurt. Wow. I think we should have started with that. I think if we just started with that, the conversation would have been much easier and much more honest and sincere and realistic. Number 2, explain the concept of choice. You can introduce the idea that people make different choices based on their values. Correct. Some people eat meat while others choose to eat only plants because they believe it's better for the animals or the environment. Yes, it's believed for your health and the animals and the environment. Correct. Let them know that either choice is okay, but it's important to think about why we make those choices. Damn. I agree. Correct. Wow. You just need to ask GPT to consider moral values, and it gives you like great options. Sweet. Number 3, talk about gratitude and responsibility. Highlight the importance of being grateful for the food we eat and being responsible in how we treat animals and the environment. Correct. I think if you eat meat, you should know where it comes from. You need to know what those slaughterhouses look like. You need to know what the factory farming does to our environment. And what eating too much cholesterol and too much red meat does to your health. You could say, when we eat meat, it's important to be thankful for the animals and make sure they are treated with care and respect. If you kill somebody, it's not being treated with care and respect. If you let the sheep, the dog, the cow, the chicken live and then kill it, that's not showing respect. I think we can all agree on that. And if people want to argue with that, I highly encourage you to follow Elwood's Organic Dogs Meat on Instagram. Those are my friends who are individual farmers. They are family-owned farm, and they raise dogs and they sell them for meat. And you can buy anything from corgi pork chops to husky jerky. So if that disgusts you, I highly recommend that you go to their website and really see what they're about and think about why that bothers you versus eating pigs is not bothering anybody. Okay. Number 4, encourage critical thinking. Why did we start with this? Let children know that as they grow up, they can explore different perspectives and decide for themselves how they feel about eating meat. Encourage them to think about how their choices impact animals and the world around them. Great. I have a feeling that kids should not be baptized against their will when they're babies. And I have a feeling that kids should not be given unethically made food if the family lives in the environment where they can afford to care about that. So my kids are going to be vegan, and they're not going to eat meat until they're at the age when they can decide to smoke, eat meat, etc. Go pick your religion if you want to. I have a strong conviction that that's the right way to go, and you're welcome to argue against in the comments. Like the video or dislike it, subscribe, share with your non-vegan friends, and I will talk to you later. I know that's a controversial topic, but I hope we have a good discussion in the comments. Peace.